Let's say you already did some editing and opened the color page for the first time and you're thinking, what the heck is going on here? What are those and what are those? This is the tutorial I wish I had when I was opening the color page in DaVinci Resolve for the first time. It doesn't matter if you come from Final Cut or Premiere Pro like I did, or you're a complete newbie, this video is for you. So without wasting any more time, let's start with the tutorial. Let's open our edit in the color page by simply pressing the color page icon. Before we get started, I want to show you a few things about the interface so you can navigate more easily. At the top, you can activate and deactivate some tabs, like clips, where you can quickly jump between shots. Another way to navigate your edit is by enabling the timeline tab and selecting the clips you want to grade. Here we have our viewer window where we can play and stop our video. And guys, remember, we're doing color here. This is the only time where an editor can listen to the music that he wants. To do that, you can quickly mute your audio right here. This is the node area. I won't go too deep into this topic today, but you'll see what it does in a moment. Then we have our scopes, which provide a visual representation of your image. The waveform scope is a tool that shows the brightness levels of your video across the frame. The bottom of the graph indicates the darkest parts, so the shadows, and the top represents the brightest areas, so the highlights. By reading the waveform, you can see whether parts of your video are too dark, too bright, or well balanced. Since there's no pure black or white in reality, we try not to touch these lines and keep our grading within them. Now let's talk about the primary wheels, which are the tools you'll use the most. These include lift, gamma, and gain. Lift adjusts shadows, gamma adjusts midtones, and gain adjusts highlights. So when I started using them, I always forgot which one is which, so I leave you this palette here for a while so you get it into your head, okay? If we take our lift slider at the bottom, we're adjusting the shadows. You'll see this in the viewer and scopes where the darker areas are affected. You can use these tools to make a basic adjustment to how dark your shadows should be. Then do the same for the highlights using gain. Watch the scopes to see how only the top areas are moving and make sure not to crush your highlights by touching the top line. Finally, use gamma to adjust the midtones for proper exposure. The offset wheel adjusts all three parameters at the same time, brightening or darkening the entire image. Check again the scopes, how the complete graph changes. You can also drag the center point of the wheel toward a specific color, like blue or orange, to change the overall tone. If you do this in the lift wheel, for example, it will primarily affect the darker areas. Same goes for the other wheels. To reset any adjustments, press the circular arrow icon. So let's finally discover what these nodes are here for. All the values you've changed are saved in the current node. To see the before and after, press the number on the node to deactivate it and press again to reactivate it. To take it a step further, let's create another node. Right-click on the first node, go to Add Node and choose Serial Node. Select the new node and here you'll see some more values that you can change. Let's add some saturation to make the image more colorful. But why do we put this adjustment in a separate node when we could have done it in the same one? One reason is that it allows you to see exactly what each change does by activating and deactivating nodes. It also makes it easy to reset a single node if needed. We can simply do this by right-clicking on the node and press Reset. You can create as many nodes as you want and arrange them freely. The position of the node doesn't affect our color grade. However, make sure they are all connected to the final output, as disconnected nodes won't affect the image. You can right-click to rename a node, so you remember what changes were made. Now let's look at some additional tools. The temperature slider adjusts the overall warmth or coolness of your image. The tint slider balances green and magenta tones. A pro tip for color correction is to find something white or black in your image and make it appear as such. If you're struggling to match the temperature, use the eyedropper tool to sample a white or black area in your image. The software will automatically adjust the temperature and tint. To change the color of a specific color, you want to head over to your curves and use the hue versus hue curves. Select the color in your image, which will create a point, and drag it up or down to adjust the hue. For example, you can make the blue sky look more like a teal blue by dragging the point upward. There you can find many other curves like hue versus saturation or hue versus luminance, for example. The effects window allows you to drag effects like blur into your node. You can modify the effect settings in the inspector. And right here, you can find the masks, which are called power windows in DaVinci Resolve. You can add different shapes to limit your grading to a specific area in your video. And the reason why they are called power windows, I will show you in my next video. And yeah guys, there's so much more to this page. We just scratched the surface, but I don't want to make it too overwhelming for you in the beginning, so those were the basics that you need to start right away in the color page. I hope it helped. See you at the next time, and let's start creating.